Kugan Cassis, IFL TV here at Frederick's Restaurant. With me, I've got promoter Frank Warren and Bill Ives. How are you, sir? You all right, Bill?
Fine, thank you.
Frank, is it a bit of a frustrating time at the moment?
Very frustrating. You know, it's when you think you've done something and you agreed something, and lawyers think, and my lawyer thought we'd agreed it, and you send off the contracts, and then there's a big gap in between. You're chasing people up, and it doesn't come back. Then we change it, amend it, whatever. And last night, on the phone till 11:30 at night, we finally agreed it. Then 6 o'clock this morning, it all comes undone again, and it's crazy stuff. It was just ridiculous. I mean, it was the most farcical situation I've been involved with. So, to give the fans what they want, we've had to give a deadline till 5 o'clock. I mean, when I got here, I didn't have any intention of doing that. It's only Chris Eubank's senior rang me and said to me, look, let's try and get something done. So, as I said to him, we've been trying to get something done since the start of the month. If we can't get it done by 5 o'clock, then we'll go our separate ways.
So obviously it's 2 o'clock now. We've got 3 hours away from that. Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic about getting something done about it?
I've got to be honest, I've got no idea. I absolutely thought we did this on a number of occasions, and we haven't. So I couldn't say. It's 5 o'clock, I'll tell you.
Obviously, the card on the 29th, a lot of people were looking to this fight. It was kind of like a headline fight on its own, Frank.
Correct.
And if it isn't to be, whether Billy Joe's in another fight or not, that will be a disappointment to fans.
It will be. It'll be a disappointment to Bill, and it'll be a disappointment to me. You know, remember, Bill didn't call this fight out. Young Crisper called it out, and his dad wanted it. It's a voluntary defence, and there were certain conditions and criteria that we wanted to ensure that it took place. Subject to that, we would have signed. The contracts would have been signed. They haven't been signed. It's beyond my control, you know. But if it happens, brilliant. It's the cherry on the cake. If it doesn't, we've got Derek Chisora, Tyson Fury, final eliminator for the world title, which is a great fight. We've got Frankie Gavin and Bradley Skeet, a brilliant fight. Liam Walsh against Gary Sykes, a great fight. Frank Buglioni in a really good fight. Young Mitchell Smith in a cracking fight. And Billy Joe will fight in a significant title fight. So whatever way you want to look at it, it's a great show, a real great value for money show in 50-50 fight, all 50-50 fights on the bill. If Chris Eubanks is on, I'm over the moon. If he's not, we move on. Our business can't be all be about one fighter, and it's not. And what everybody's got to understand, this is Billy Joe Saunders is the European, British and Commonwealth title. He's done it the hard way. He's worked very hard. His last 4 fights have been against undefeated fighters. He's given a voluntary defence here against a guy who's not even had a 10-round fight yet. So show him some respect. I don't mean you. I mean
yeah. You mentioned in the press conference that there is something as an alternative that is potentially for Billy Joe a lot bigger.
Well, it is a bigger fight.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
But you obviously won't let us know anything.
I can't till we exhaust where we are.
I think people could second guess anyway by going through the middleweight champions.
Well, let them second guess, and if they're right, they'll be highly delighted with their guessing.
Frank, we found out about this fight via the social media outlets, Eubank Saunders, a couple of weeks ago. Is there an argument here that before Chris Eubank had actually put pen to paper that for it to have come out that there's a potential fight?
It is a shame. What happens is that, you know, every time I speak to you, I always talk about years ago, but years ago there weren't a social media. Yeah. So you'd have your negotiations and the deal would be done and you'd sign. In this day, I say to you something, next minute someone's tweeting it here, tweeting it there, and it's out there and things, you know, people say I want to do this, I want to do that, and they do all these things on the social media. The unfortunate thing is social media and actually having a contract signed, it's two different things. Now, I thought, and verbally, we did have an agreement, but you know, it has to be. You know, we're running a business here at the end of the day, and we have to have contracts. You know, the Box Nation has to have a situation where, you know, whoever wins that fight, there's an ongoing fight. It's not about allowing, you know, giving somebody the opportunity and they just walk off. It's not a purse bid. It's not a mandatory title fight. You know, he's jumping the queue, and that's where we are. So as I say, I can't help what goes out on the social media, and and myself is a little, I'm a little bit to blame myself, because I felt that having shook Chris Eubank's hand, we had a deal, but we are where we are.
I mean, if fans have predominantly come to see that fight on the XL and they're not happy that the fight isn't on there,
they don't go, do they? Then that goes without saying. But
do they get a refund on that basis, Frank?
Of course they would.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying. We would certainly do that. There's no doubt about that. But I hope they look at the whole card.
Yeah.
And Billy Joe's is a good quality fighter, a very good quality fighter. He's still fighting. He will be in a significant fight, a much tougher fight in my opinion for him. And that's if we don't do the deal with Eubank.
Jimmy Tibbs said in the press conference that when the fight was first obviously come about, that he did turn around and said to you, I bet he pulls out the fight.
He said that to me, and I said to him, I don't believe so. I'm not dealing with Chris Eubank Jr. I'm dealing with a dad. Sometimes it'd be nice to be able to speak to the kid, but you follow the protocol of going through the management and obviously speaking. In this case, it's father and son, and I don't want to get in the middle of father and son. I don't know what the dynamic of their relationship is. Now, I'd have done that years ago, like I should have done with Ricky Hatton and his dad. And remember, I never had one bad word with Ricky Hatton. We'd have probably kept in business. And as it transpired down the road, and don't get me wrong, not for 1 minute am I suggesting that Chris Eubank is doing anything senior, is doing anything untoward, because I don't believe he would do that to his son. I think he's more honourable than that. But I wish I would have years ago with Ricky, especially when the purses I was paying him, and I could never figure out why he said he weren't getting the money that I was stating. I wish I'd have got more involved with him directly, and he would have seen, what came out at the end, that purses were being underdeclared to him.
Bill, being a big reason why Box Nation is where it is today, this must be frustrating for you as well.
Well, it's frustrating and bewildering, because you get people like Chris Eubank Sr. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity for his boy. As Frank said, Billy Joe don't have to give him this opportunity. It's a no-lose situation for him, because if he wins, it's great. If he loses, it's at that point in his career, it's not the end of the world. So it's bewildering and frustrating, of course. And as you said, it's a fight that everyone's looking forward to seeing. It's captured boxing public's imagination.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose in about 3 hours' time we'll find out what's going on, and really can't say any more than that. So
I think we should match Frank fighting Chris Eubank Sr. That would be good.
Sponsored by Anodin.
All right. Well, listen, Frank. We hope to get an update. If it's possible to get you on the phone later for an update afterwards, we can do that as an interview as well.
And don't reverse the charges like you normally do.
No, that's all right. I've got my phone card anyway.
Good boy.
But everyone, make sure you tune in to Cassius and Held at 8 p.m. on Box Nation tonight, where we're previewing Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora.
It's the place to be.
Thank you very much, Bill. One day we're going to go more in depth with you.
Oh, that's fine.
Don't do that. He's just got out of trouble.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.